Okay guys, today we're at the San Rafael Museum, Castledale, Utah, and we can teach you about some of our local dinosaurs here, and we'll see you guys when we get in. Guys, come on, look at this. Right at the entrance, they've got this huge clam fossil. Normally, you can go out to the desert and find little ones. Never seen one this big. It's huge. Just checked in, and we're gonna go back here first. So here's one of our most common dinosaurs. Utah has the most of any of these, called an Allosaurus. They were like a T-Rex. This is not as big as they would get. They would get a lot bigger. And this is just a replica. They have other ones, but dinosaur bones are way too old. You can't really even pick them up. So they have to find every little piece of the bone, how big they were, and then they sculpt whatever they're called.
Replica
of those bones. And did you know? These are the real bones that they could get out without damaging them, but they did have to put a thick layer of black glue. Regularly, if you find a dinosaur bone, it will be like this color. This is a Torvosaurus. I've never heard of that. But
found in Emery County, though.
yeah.
Have you ever found dinosaur teeth, Monty?
Yep. I found a nice Allosaurus one and a Mosasaurus. This is a Deinonychus. This isn't like their bones, but this is what scientists think that they would have looked like if you could picture that as being a real life raptor. You know what this is? This is a T-Rex head. That's a skull, and you can go head over here, guys. Here is some dinosaur prints, and some of them are not good. And over there you can find some dinosaur bones, a replica of that. Then the Triceratops, and there's that dinosaur for a replica. Okay, so there's a couple more in this room. This might look like a T-Rex, but it's actually called an Albersaurus. And here we have some Ice Age. So here's a replica of a mammoth skull. This is a mammoth femur. This is a real one, but I'm pretty sure they had to put a bunch of stuff on it.
So Monty, where did they find the mammoth in our county?
It's really cool. They were digging up a lake, and they were like, that's weird. I didn't know that we had these. They started finding bones and found a whole entire mammoth.
Up the canyon,
replica,
huh?
Yeah. A whole replica is in the Price Museum, but here they have a replica of the head. Did you know that a mammoth, their biggest fear were rivers? Because, it's kind of like the most deadliest thing. What happened in one place is there was one river, but every time a mammoth tried to go drink, it would slip down, and they would slowly drown inside the river. And down somewhere else in America, they called it the Mammoth River, something like that. They dug it up and put a whole museum on it. But the lake where they found them, they even named it after the mammoth. It's called Mammoth Lake.
Look at the picture back there of the mammoth falling in the water.
That's another fear that they had. Although they had thick fur, so if they could get rescued, they would have a good chance. Guys, these are kind of like gums. And then this is teeth, and you'll have a replica of the whole entire bone. It's not real replica, but if you head on to Price, Utah and stuff, you can find all real mammoths and stuff. Oh, guys, today, well, there's another one. Those dinosaurs used to eat other dinosaurs' eggs up there. They were really, so there's a painting. So it's like, if that dinosaur wasn't paying attention, that one would always come probably steal an egg, go away and eat it.
They're snatchers.
Yep. So this is a Utah raptor called Claw. They were the biggest raptors in the world, and they were the only place that you can almost find them is here in Utah. That's why they're named the Utah Raptor.
Tell me about the velociraptors on Jurassic Park. What's wrong with them?
They are way too big. So in the book, they're actually Utah Raptors, but Velociraptors were they were the size of a turkey.
Right. But a Utah raptor looks more like what's in the movie, huh?
Yeah, although they would be bigger. That's the thing. So the thing is, it could be one of these because that's about the size of them. Because they didn't they did not. It wasn't very accurate, and the Mosasaurus was too big and everything.
What about the feathers?
The feathers. Most dinosaurs did actually have feathers. Even scientists believe T-Rex did. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. Did a velociraptor have feathers or a
Yes.
Utah raptor?
Utah raptor, velociraptor, because how we know is people that find other raptor things have also found fossilized feathers along their body.
Cool.
Guys, now we moved out of that room and we're going to the archaeologist. This is modern day stuff where you can go out and find these animals. So right here we have all this stuff.
What is this, Monty?
That's an ammonite. Someday we can go out to our desert and show you where we find them and stuff. We can do that. It's very cool.
What is it? What kind of creature is it?
This is an ammonite.
What is it? What
Well,
describe it to someone who doesn't know what an ammonite is.
it was a squid. This is what an ammonite would look like. So it's really cool. It's like, I think they're definitely one of my faves.
Guys, I just wanted to say, see these two
Have a little
rocks?
touch.
These rocks are actually crystal in modern days. They're rare to find. So can't believe we're looking at one. And then this is an elk.
And you can go outside and find sheds.
This was the elk's last year when this elk died, that was one of the last year sheds. And then if we come over here,
These are called elk, and they shed their antlers once a year. You can go out in the mountains and find those, and it doesn't hurt them. So how they do it is those up on their head fall off once a year, and it doesn't hurt them, although it is a part of their bone. But what happens is the bone follicle starts to dissolve, and then after a little while, it completely falls off, but it doesn't hurt because there's no more bone.
okay, well this is a animal clear up high in the mountains. They like to live in the snowy places where it's cold and stuff, because that's where their family is and that's where they love to live and stuff.
It's called a mule deer, and you can find all of these things in Utah. Pintails, moose, and stuff. Right there, we have a type of turkey that is either an eastern wild turkey or a Merriam turkey.
And
But
then
it says
this-
it's a wild turkey. This is a cougar. These are big cats, and their main prey are these mule deer, and they're both extremely fast. But the mule deer can run faster. But the mule deer can run longer, but that can run faster.
Have you ever seen a cougar in Emery County?
My dad even shot one. And also, guys, these mule deer are just like the elk and the moose. They're all the same family. But these are the most common sheds that you can find.
Guys,
But let's go down to the other side. They would literally take a bunch of clay, sculpt it, and then put it in a fire for it to harden. And once it hardened, it became stuff. They used to build things just out of wood, but then one Indian was putting clay over his wood to harden it, and then the clay would fall off. But he accidentally dropped it into the fire, and the wood burnt off, but the clay stayed. And then it just hardened, and then that's how pottery started, and that's how we have glass and cup stuff just like that today. Without that one Indian that accidentally dropped his pottery into the fire. So we found some more animals in here, and guess what? These are called pronghorn antelope. These are a little tiny bit like the moose and elk and deer, because these fall off their head, but every 4 years instead of every 1 year, which is kind of cool. And then we
so cute, and they love to scratch on wood. They love to play on under the tiny chipmunk. I think he's trying to get it and
And
stuff.
then we have a bobcat that's literally just chilling.
I don't think he's chilling. I think his eyes look kind of crazy.
I know, but we have
He's
another
like this.
bobcat.
Tell me what he looks like, Monty.
He's like, so guys, we're going into a dark room right through this door, and guess what? It's really cool. So if you come here and you look at this chart, it shows you all the minerals that will be here, and they glow. I'm pretty sure. Whoa! Come see this, guys. You gotta come look at this. These are rocks that they didn't even do anything. These rocks can glow. Whoa. Whoa, guys. Isn't that super cool?
That is actually really cool.
Yeah. I think that they've got a UV light in there, and those rocks react to UV light.
We're gonna head out, and then I'm gonna show you some more Indian stuff. Just follow me.
Came back to the archaeology room, and we found a different room. So we have all this stuff. This is what they would wear for shoes and decorations. But if you're thinking that this is just two rocks, it's not. So they would find a very flat rock and one kind of like this, and then they would put a whole bunch of seeds on there, and then they would
Or corn.
slam- and then they would slam it, and then do that to shred them up and make flour.
It's called a manna and a matati.
I hope you guys learned a lot about dinosaurs and a lot about Emory County, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you stick around, we'll show you guys a little bit more, and well, not like more of the museum, but we'll show you guys our fan mail opening, and I'll see you good
Triceratops and dinosaur and stuff. Thank you to go to the Indian places. I hope you guys liked my favorite animal, the red fox. Oh, it's pretty good. Well, we'll keep on watching our videos and we'll make more videos just like this.